Today, flagship stores around the world are becoming more experimental and more architectural than ever. So I wanted to look at how different brands, from a small pastry company to global luxury fashion houses, use architecture to communicate their identity. We will look at 3 signature retail examples in Tokyo: SunnyHills by Kengo Kuma, Prada store by Herzog de Meuron, and the Miu Miu building right across the street in the Aoyama district. Then we will dive into our design project, proposed for a fashion clothing store in San Francisco.
The building is designed for Taiwanese bakery which produce pineapple baked goods, and is designed by Kengo Kuma and built in 2013. Kengo Kuma is a famous Japanese architect known for working with traditional Japanese techniques and materials, but reinventing the way of working with them and rethinking how they could be applied.
SunnyHills is a Taiwanese brand known for craftsmanship and hospitality. Kengo Kuma translates that identity into one clear architectural move: a 3-dimensional timber lattice built with traditional Jiigoku-Gumi joinery scaled up to the size of a building. It becomes the structure of the facade and the main visual language, a single construction logic that expresses the brand.
The building is designed with Jiigoku-Gumi technique, and this technique is of connecting the wood members together. So here you can see that the wood members are connected in 3D, so this one going the other direction that these two are going. And they're connected very smoothly and you cannot really see any gaps. The interior space formed with the same wood members and they don't have the feeling between them. So all the space has a lot of light and very transparent and free to move in. The same technique and structure which used on the facade gets translated to the interior, which makes the interior space very connected to the exterior and not that constrained, and are more free and easily breathing. And you can see how the traditions of architecture in Japan is showed around the building. For instance, here we can see that behind this paper wall there is wood members connected in the same way as the facade, and it's getting light through that we can actually read the shape and read the balance of the light and shadow in it.
That interlocking wood system creates a porous envelope that filters light in a controlled way. There is almost no threshold. You move from the street into the interior as the light shifts from bright to soft. The atmosphere comes from the timber geometry and the way it shapes daylight.
You can see the dialogue between the architecture building and the nature here. For instance, here the facade kind of steps to the side to give the space for this tree and to give a space for the people to observe this tree directly. The other interesting part is this hill built out of earth with the plants growing on it. You can see it from the exterior, but it also translates to the interior, and part of the stair is going up this hill and directly connected to it.
Even though the building is small, the clarity of the idea makes it feel like a flagship. From this small, warm, handcrafted project, we move to something completely different, one of the most recognizable flagship stores in Tokyo.
Here we are standing at the plaza near the main entrance to the Prada boutique designed by Herzog de Meuron in Tokyo. And we can see the transparency of this building, how it's glowing from inside, lighting up the surroundings. And it's done by providing the glass panels, which are parametric in their geometry, and some of them are getting concave, some of them are getting convex, and some of them are actually flat. And it gives a very interesting perspective if you come in closer to the building, and it's facade changing for you depending on the way from which you're looking at it.
Prada approaches architecture the same way they approach fashion, through strong geometry and refined, technical, almost cold materials. Here the entire building becomes the showcase. It's not a traditional storefront with a few highlighted pieces. The whole glass volume works as a transparent display case.
You can really see what's going on inside and every floor and story of it, and it's very attractive to just go there and visit. You can see the stairs going all the way up to the building, and interesting bridges and geometry of the inside space.
The diamond facade works as a structural grid, allowing the building to remain open with minimal internal supports.
And over here on the side we see the tunnel for staff entering the building, which is separated from the main entrance. And I wanted to pay your attention to the material the gate is done of. It's a very industrial grid of thin steel elements used for some kind of fences or the road infrastructure. And Herzog de Meuron famous for using unusual materials for their building, as for instance the Joinery in California, which they designed. They also use the grid like this filled with boulders, which is usually used to support the walls of the earth from falling off for the infrastructure. And on the opposite side, in the same neighborhood from this Prada building designed by Herzog de Meuron, there's actually another project also designed by them. It's this boutique of the Miu Miu. And in contrast to the Prada building, it kind of tries to hide the inside by giving you a peek of what is there. The first story is transparent glass, and then it's covered, the facade is covered with this metal overhang, but it's slightly going up with giving you a peek on the side that there's actually much more to see in there.
Here the main gesture is the metal canopy. It creates shadow, a bit of privacy, and a more playful attitude that fits the brand.
At the entrance to this boutique, we're standing nearby the huge shop window, lighting and attracting everyone, but at the same time we're kind of under the canopy and we're already in the space of boutique, so there is no way we can resist and not go inside.
Now let's dive into our design proposal for a fashion clothing store in San Francisco. How do you create a distinctive interior that invites passers-by to explore and welcomes regular visitors? In the existing building where the glass storefront is our main facade, we solved it by creating a space that sparks discovery, using an unusual material for this purpose, steel tubes. We use them modularly, but intentionally break the grid of vertical and horizontal elements, making them less dense at the front and denser next to the walls and the back of the store. This irregularity makes it look more organic, even chaotic, embracing the feeling of creativity of the brand.